Dynamic lift. What is dynamic lift? Dynamic means force. So the force which lifts some object is called dynamic lift. Dynamic lift is a force which can be explained on the basis of Bernoulli's principle. There are various examples in which we use dynamic lift. For example, spinning of cricket ball, spinning of tennis ball, or spinning of baseball. Also, in case of spinning of golf balls, we use the principle of the Bernoulli's principle or the dynamic lift. We have noticed that when a ball moves without spin in fluid like air, the velocity of the fluid or air above and below the ball is the same. Here the ball is not spinning and the ball is moving forward in air. In this direction the ball, suppose the ball is moving, the air is moving in the backward direction. In this direction you see the direction of the air and this is the direction of the ball. So in this case we notice that when the ball move without spin, here the ball is not spinning. So if the ball will move without spin, the velocity of the air above and the velocity of the ball below, they are basically same. So in this case there is no dynamic lift because there is no upward or downward force on the ball, so there is no dynamic lift. So remember, when a ball moves without spin in fluid like air, the velocity of fluid above and below the ball is the same. So the pressure difference is zero. Therefore, there is no dynamic lift. That is, there is no upward or downward force on the ball. But here you see the ball is spinning. Spinning means the ball is moving as well as rotating. So this is called the spinning. So a ball, when it spins, it drag air along with it. You see, when the ball is spinning, it is dragging the air along with it. Therefore, the velocity of air above the ball is larger than the velocity of air below the ball. So the difference in velocities of air results in a pressure difference. According to Bernoulli's principle, if velocity increases, then pressure decreases. So the pressure here will be less and the pressure here will be more. So there will be a pressure difference. So due to this pressure difference, there will be a force or net upward force in this direction. There will be a net upward force which is called the dynamic lift, and this dynamic lift due to spinning is called Magnus effect. So you remember, a spinning ball drag air along with it, therefore the velocity of air above the ball is larger than the velocity of air below the ball. So the difference in velocities of air results in a pressure difference, as a result of which a net upward force acts on the ball, and this dynamic lift due to spinning is called Magnus effect. And another example where we use dynamic lift is aerofoil or lift on aircraft wings. The cross section of wings of an aeroplane looks like a aerofoil. As shown to you in this picture, this is your aerofoil, and if you take the cross section of the wings of an aeroplane, then this looks like a aerofoil. And the aerofoil is so designed that when it moves in air, the velocity of air above the foil is larger than the velocity of air below the foil. Here the velocity of air is more and here the velocity of air is less. So applying Bernoulli's principle, you will create a pressure difference. Here the velocity of air is more, so you have a low pressure, and here the velocity of air is less, so you have a high pressure. So there is a pressure difference, that means you will get a force from below to above. So applying Bernoulli's principle, the difference in velocities of air results in a pressure difference, as a result of which a net upward force acts on this wing. This is the net upward force. This results a dynamic lift of the wing which balances the weight of the plane. So remember, the cross section of the wings of an aeroplane looks like a aerofoil. The aerofoil is so designed that when it moves in air, the velocity of air above the foil is larger than the velocity of air below the foil. So applying Bernoulli's principle, the difference in velocities of air results in a pressure difference, as a result of which a net upward force acts on the wing. This results a dynamic lift of the wings which balances the weight of the plane. Now we will work out this problem to find out what is the order of the pressure difference between the lower and upper surfaces of the wings. And we also in this problem discuss the increase in speed of air on the upper surface of the wing relative to the lower surface. In this problem, it is given that a fully loaded Boeing aircraft has a mass of 3.3 into 10 to the 5 kg. So mass of the Boeing aircraft is given. The total wing area is 500 meter square. So area of the wing it is given, and it is in level flight with a speed of 960 km per hour. So the level speed, that is the average speed of the aeroplane, is given 960 km per hour or 267 meter per second, and we have to estimate the difference, that is the pressure difference between the lower and upper surfaces of the wings, and we have to estimate the fractional increase in the speed of air in the upper surface of the wing relative to the lower surface, and the density of air it is given 1.2 kg per meter cube. So in this problem, mass of the Boeing aircraft is given, area of the wing is given, and level flight speed it is given, which is basically the average speed of the aircraft, that is V1 plus V2 divided by 2, and this will be the average speed, where V1 is the speed of air over the upper surface and V2 is the speed of air under the bottom surface of the wing. And here V1, as you have discussed, V1 must be greater than V2, and the density of air it is given 1.2 kg per meter cube. Suppose the pressure difference between the lower and upper surface of the wing is delta P. Since the weight of the aircraft is balanced by the upward force due to the pressure difference, so the weight of the aircraft is mg, and that is equal to the pressure difference into area. So pressure difference delta P will be equal to weight divided by area. If you divide the weight, it is given mass and acceleration due to gravity, and area it is given. So we will get the pressure difference between the lower and upper surfaces of the wings, delta P is equal to 6.5 into 10 to the power 3 Newton per meter square. Now we will calculate what is the increase in speed of air on the upper surface of the wing relative to the lower surface. From Bernoulli's principle, we have the three energies: pressure, kinetic and potential. They are equal, so they are constant. So P1 plus half rho V1 square plus rho g H1 is equal to P2 plus half rho V2 square plus rho g H2. Since H1 is equal to H2, not equal to, nearly equal to H2, that is, we have to neglect the height difference between the top and bottom surfaces of the wings. So P1 minus P2 will be equal to half rho into V2 square minus V1 square. Suppose P1 minus P2 we have taken here delta P. So delta P is equal to half rho V2 square minus V1 square. So V2 minus V1 will be equal to 2 into delta P divided by rho into V2 plus V1. But we have taken the average speed. V average is equal to V1 plus V2 divided by 2. So you may substitute V2 plus V1 is equal to V average divided by 2. So 2 cancels. So this will be equal to delta P divided by rho into V average. Delta P we have calculated 6.5 into 10 to the power 3 Newton per meter square. Density of air it is given 1.2 kg per meter cube. And V average it is given 267 meter per second. So if you substitute these values, you will get the difference in velocity, that is equal to 76.8 meter per second. So what will be the fractional increase in speed of air on the upper surface of the wing relative to the lower surface? So the fractional increase in air will be equal to V2 minus V1 divided by V average, and that is equal to delta P divided by rho into V average square. And because in this equation if you divide V2 minus V1 divided by V average, then this side will be equal to delta P divided by rho into V average square. So putting the value of delta P, rho and V average, we will get V2 minus V1 divided by V average is equal to 0.08. So you see the speed above the wing needs to be only 8% higher than that of the below. There are other applications of Bernoulli's principle, and we will discuss about the applications in next videos. Thanks for watching.